Hey there guys, it's George here, and I wanted to share this video because I just scored a really good airfare and a couple of people have asked me how I did it. So I needed to get to London and I was just wanting to look at, how much does a first class fare to London normally go for? And let's have a quick look, shall we? So I live in Melbourne. And I'm going to London, and I tend to look around for the lowest fares, leaving around about the time that I'm going to leave, and say we're going to say I'm probably going to be away for something like 10 to 12 days. I'm only one adult, and I was looking for first class. Now, first class out of Melbourne is a little bit limited. There's only certain airlines that do it these days. And there we go. So this is just a very quick search, and I'm using the IATA software Matrix. And what this does is it goes out and has a look at what fares are currently sort of floating around. So if you have a look here, there's a lot of, just looking at the dates, there's some decent fares that are floating around. Let's have a look at Friday the 13th, 9,995. That's actually really cheap for a first class fare, and this is the fare that I was able to get. Now, the trick is nabbing it. So let's have a look at what the fares are. So if you have a look here, 9,995, that's a Qantas and BA code share. And that's a decent fare. So that's one choice. But you can actually choose by airline. So the multiple carriers, and if you compare that to $15,000 just for a pure Qantas fare, pure Emirates fare, Qatar, so that's all of your one worlds. So you've got your BA, Qatar, Emirates, Qantas. Interestingly, a pure BA fare is 10,000. That's a pretty good fare, but I like BA, but I prefer Qantas. And if you do choose that BA fare, you might be on. See what they're a little bit tricky here. What they've done is that if you look here, they've actually put you on a Cathay Pacific flight in business. So that's not as nearly as exciting as you think it is. But again, see, this is the little dodgy thing, is that they've put you on a business fare, and they put you in first in a 777, but it's this business leg that's just a bit dodge. And this is what I was trying to avoid, is how do I get this fare on a Qantas A380 and a BA first class? And if you notice here, you can do a comparison. If you're willing to wait a whole half hour, you could be on an A380. So, okay, let's have a look at this fare. So to be able to get this fare, it's a Qantas A380. You lay over in Singapore, and then you jump on to the... so this is the return flight, sorry. BA Qantas. Okay, let's choose that as well. Okay. And so you can see here, first class, first class, first class. And what is important is this part, the A. The A here. A. They're all lining up. And even better, I've got two legs on an A380, which I'm a fan of. But I wouldn't mind being on an A380 all of the way. So let me show you one other tricky little site. So Matrix I use to find general fares, okay? But there are better ways to get the exact fare, and this is where Expert Flyer comes in. Now, Expert Flyer is a paid subscription, and it's worth every freaking cent. This website has just saved me $6,000 for a first class airfare, so I'm pretty happy with that. So we're going Melbourne, London Heathrow. Now, what were the dates that we were looking at there? Friday the 13th and Wednesday the 25th. Okay, so you go July, Friday the 13th, Wednesday 25th. Now, I'm going to choose a one world fare, and point of sale Australia, and I want to go via Singapore because that's where that fare was going through, right? So let's do a quick search. And la voila, what you're seeing here is it's showing all of the fare buckets. So F is full price first class, A is discounted first class. So to make it even easier, you go and you refine your search and you tell it, I only want to see A and F fares, and you hit search, and bada boom bada bing, here we go. It's like shooting fish in a barrel from this point forward. All you have to do is find the combination of fares that has the A's. So let's have a look. Qantas. So we're leaving from, this is the Melbourne flight. So the Melbourne flights are pretty open actually. So you get on QF35, that's an A380, and there's 8 of those discounted first class fares available. Then there's the Singapore to London Heathrow A380, and look, there's 9 A fares available. So basically, this is the combination that I'd go for, is QF35 and BA12. So that's the departing flight. It's the getting home ones that are a little bit more tricky, but there's so much open fares here. Look at this. You can go BA11 and then Qantas. Oh, well, it's actually, yeah, it's a BA code share on Qantas 7402. But again, A380, and there's an A class there, there's an A class there. Now, this is a month out. So if you can find all 4 A classes, it means that you can get a discounted first class fare. So you could be flying first class for like 9,000, I think paid 9,600. It's a really good thing, but you just have to do a little search. So the 2 sites that I recommend is Matrix, the Matrix airfare search, and that's just to find the general fares and the climate of airfares at the time. And then I go diving into Expert Flyer and find all of the A class fares. This can be really, really handy if you're on a round the world fare as well. If you're on round the world first class, you can only book in the A cabin. So it is very, very important that you know which flights are where. And sometimes your travel agent will be surprised. My travel agent was genuinely surprised. She was quoting me 14,000 for the first class airfare, and then I just found these fares. And when you find them and there's only 1 seat left, you book that straight away, and then you call your agent and say, da-da-da-da-da, this is what we need. So there you go. I hope you actually found that helpful. But a couple of people asked me, so I thought I would share how I find the really cheap airfares. Have a good one. See you guys.